Luxottica.
Make some new coffee. Anybody want more of this?
No, not me.
Oh, thanks, Charlie. I think I'm going to turn in.
You know, the more I think about it, we should have held out for our price on those mules.
We'd have had to hole up for the winter if we had.
Worse than that, we'd had to drive that string of knuckleheads all the way home.
Now, Jelly, it's just that you don't like mules, that's all.
Will you tell me just one thing there is to like about a mule?
You feed those horses?
Of course, I fed those horses. Fed them before I fed us. Let's go see.
I'm turning in. Night, Jelly.
Easy, boy. Easy.
Tighten you up a bit here. Better hitch up the team. We got to get him to a doctor.
Do you hear something?
No. Come on.
I hear something.
Hello, the house!
You wait here. No, wait here.
Hello!
What is it?
Ma'am, could you help us? We've got a hurt man here.
What happened to him?
The cougar mauled him.
He needs a doctor.
Well, there's none here.
Where's the nearest one?
Well, Coal River.
How far's that?
It's 15 miles.
You'll never make it, sir.
I live up above the store. You bring him in. I'll get a room ready. All right.
You stay with him. I'll go get the doctor.
What can I do for you, mister?
Sheriff, my name is Murdoch Lancer. I was told I could find a Dr. Banning here.
Right there. What do you want with him?
Doctor, I have a friend who was mauled by a cougar. He's in pretty bad shape. He's losing a lot of blood. There was no doctor where I took him.
Sorry, mister. We don't have a doctor here either.
Technically speaking, anyway, Mr. Lancer. You see, I'm under arrest for practicing medicine without a license.
Banning, when you land in prison, you're going to find out that's a mighty big technicality.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lancer. Your friend's condition sounds critical, but...
This doctor in Sand Junction.
Sand Junction, that's 40 miles away.
But he has a license. You'll probably find him in the saloon. If not there, try the mortuary. He's also the undertaker.
Banning. How much do you really know about medicine?
Well, I practiced here in Cold River for 6 years without any complaints.
You practiced for Judah Abbott and his family. How much time do you ever give the rest of this town?
Mr. Abbott brought me here. I was on his retainer. And contrary to popular belief, medicine is a profit-making profession. Let's look at it this way, Mr. Lancer. Diploma or no diploma, license or no license. I'm more of a doctor than your friend has now, or is likely to get in time to do him any good.
Sheriff, you've got to come with me.
What?
You and Banning.
I can't do that.
Sheriff.
What, Judah Abbott had skinned me alive. I can't even let that man out on bail till the circuit judge gets here and tries him.
You understand a man's life is at stake.
You're wasting your time, Mr. Lancer. Judah Abbott's the man you should be pleading with.
And who is this Judah Abbott?
He owns Abbott Mining. Abbott Mining owns Cold River.
Why don't you tell him the whole thing from the beginning, Banning? This man operated on Judah Abbott's son a few months ago. Left him an invalid for the rest of his life.
It's a lie.
And that's when Judah hired a detective agency in San Francisco to find out just who and what Mr. Banning really is.
If I hadn't operated on Josh Abbott, he'd be dead now.
I'm taking him with me, Sheriff.
Sorry, he stays right here.
I'm sorry, too.
Wait a minute now.
I have no other choice.
The key is in the top left drawer.
Don't get the idea, Banning, that you're not coming back here because you are.
I must say, I like your style.
Sheriff, when he does what he can for my friend, he'll be back, I promise you. Now get in there. Banning!
Just thought I'd give it a try.
Put those on.
I'll need my bag.
We'll get your bag.
Can I get you some more water?
No, thank you. I think this is fine. He's going to be all right. I know it. Billy's rooms are across the hall. Why don't you get some rest? I'll call you as soon as your dad comes back.
Mrs. Lockwood, you have been up all night taking care of Jelly, and I think you ought to get some rest.
I'll make us both some coffee. Does that settle it?
You know, I don't know how to thank you, Mrs. Lockwood, because, well, Jelly's sort of special to us.
Don't. I know what it's like to sit and wait. Pray. Every woman in Genesis knows. We had a cave-in at the mine 4 years ago. All our menfolk were lost in it. My husband was killed and my little boy was crippled. Genesis is just a town full of widows now. Widows and children. I'll make us that coffee.
want you to bring Banning back. I want you to bring Banning back real fast. Or look for other work.
I brought him in for you once, Mr. Abbott. I'll bring him in for you again, don't you worry. I'll have all the boys out.
You bring them both back, you hear? I want them both.
Get out.
Never seen a bag like this. Must be an old timer.
46 years. I should have thrown it away a long time ago. Well, Lancer, take these off.
Not till we get there.
No, now, take them off and let me go. You might as well. Troop was right. I'm a fraud. I can't help your friend.
It's not what you said back at Cold River.
I was in jail back there.
That's between you and them.
No, not now. It's between me and you and them. Take the fast horse. You can get to Sand Junction. Doctor there's good. What I said about his drinking was for the sheriff.
Too late, Banning. You said yourself you're as much of a doctor as we have or likely to get. Now get mounted.
Well, I guess I go to Genesis.
And here. How is he?
Not so good.
Upstairs.
You want to show him, sir?
Mind the store.
What's that all about?
I'll tell you later.
Well, someone did a fine job stopping the bleeding.
That was Mrs. Lockwood here.
Oh, have you been trained as a nurse?
Oh, no.
He's unconscious from concussion. But I'm not worried about that. There's 4 or 5 broken ribs there. Badly broken. And one of them just might puncture a lung.
What does that mean?
It means he could drown in his own blood.
Well, how can you find out?
I can't.
But a real doctor could, is that it?
You mean he's not a doctor?
No.
Well, what's he doing here?
He's all I could find. Well, what would a real doctor do to make sure?
He'd operate.
Could you?
Murdoch!
Could you?
No.
Why not?
You know why?
Because you are temporarily without a license, is that it? You're a fraud? Well, then why didn't you run away today when you got a chance? You came back for this. You could buy another one for just a few dollars, something fancy enough to match those fancy clothes. What's so important about this bag? Well, take it. You're going to operate.
I can't operate. I might kill him.
Well, if you don't operate, he's going to die anyway. You're trying to play it safe?
If I did, I wouldn't be here.
Now, what do you need? Bandages, towels?
I might help you out if...
If what?
Well, first, I'm not going back to Cold River. I save him, you save me. And second, it's the question of money. I expect to be paid for my professional services, and I don't mean with a basket of fruit or a side of bacon. Now, I figure a fair price would be...
Mister, I don't know what kind of an arrangement you could possibly have made with my father. But I don't have any arrangement with you. I only know one thing, that he's dying right now, and if you don't go to work and pull him through, I'll deliver you back to Cold River. Feet first if I have to.
And how that Sam Troop could let a man walk in there and just take Banning away from him. And Banning, he should be lynched for what he did to you.
He says he saved my life, Pa.
Oh, bosh. You don't believe that. Not for a minute. You're like I am. You were never sick a day in your life until he operated on you.
I don't know, Pa. What difference does it make now?
Makes all the difference in the world. Don't you see? Nobody cheats Judah Abbott. I bought that man and I paid for him and I intend to collect. That's the way the world is.
Sure, Pa. Sure.
Josh. Josh, don't give up like this. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna take you up to San Francisco. They got real doctors up there, not butchers.
Sure, Pa. They'll fix everything.
Josh.
Pa, I think right now I'd like to rest for a while.
Yeah, but Josh.
Just close the shades, huh, Pa?
Yeah, sure.
Bandages. One of the ribs is exerting pressure on the right lung, but it hadn't punctured it.
Does that mean he's gonna pull through?
It means I've done all anyone could. You better re-sterilize these and start hemorrhaging.
Yes, Doctor.
Is he doing good? Is it working?
Oh, he's doing good. More than good enough.
What should we do now?
You wait. You just wait.
How you doing, Murdoch?
Coming along?
They feeding you all right?
He'll be a little lightheaded at first till he pulls out of it.
Oh, not him. That's the way he always is.
You the doc?
Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out. Again. That hurt?
Of course it hurts. What'd you do to me?
Well, we opened you up. Poked around a little bit.
You didn't take anything out, did you?
Didn't find anything I liked. 3, 4, 5 days will tell.
He looks pretty good to me right now.
Well, right now he is. And he may stay that way. Like I said, barring complications.
Such as?
Anything. Pneumonia. You're weak and lost as much blood as he has. Infection's always a possibility. It's the lungs you worry about.
Sure you're not just buying time, Banning? Keep him going back.
It's not something I'm looking forward to, but I saved his life. Surely that counts for something.
Yeah, that counts.
Well, how is he?
Well, he seems all right. Of course, it's too early to tell, but he seems just fine.
Well, that's fine. Do you think that he is well enough that you might leave him? Just for a bit, that is? There's a line of people waiting downstairs. They'd like for you to have a look at them. None of them has seen a doctor in 4 years, and some of them never. It would be a great help if you could spare the time, that is.
Of course, anything I could, I'd do. You know that. But I'm afraid you'll have to consult this gentleman here.
You know, Mrs. Lockwood, he's not a doctor, properly speaking.
Oh, we all know that.
All right, then.
They're waiting for you downstairs in the store. We kind of tried to fix it up like a doctor's office. Here. Do you know anything about osteotitis?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Osteotitis?
Yeah, it's a bone separation. It's incurable. It's inoperable.
Hey, looks like you could use a new piece of string.
Yes, I could use a lot of new things. One lousy 50-cent strap, and he didn't even have enough for that.
Your father? What you learned, did you get from him?
Oh, sure. I learned a lot from the short-sleeve doctors. That they're a push-upper for people within 50 miles. That everybody loves you until it comes time to pay you. That this bag was the grand sum total of his earthly goods the day he died. Except for one son who didn't have enough money to pay his last year through medical school. But I soon began to figure it out for myself. You just give them a lot of warm confidence, tell them what they want to hear, and you stay with the rich people. Because the poor die too much. That and never take your coat off.
Mom? Oh, come on, Billy. Get in line with the rest. See? And Luther. Come. Doctor, this is Mrs. Holt.
Mrs. Holt?
And this is Luther.
Well, Luther, what seems to be the trouble?
I got a sliver in my foot.
I warn him time after time about playing barefoot on the boardwalk, but he just won't listen.
Well, now, Luther, why don't you hop right up there and let's take a look at that foot, huh?
All right, give a hop. Oh. Oh.
All right. Does that hurt?
Mm-mm.
It doesn't?
Mm-mm.
Well, now, I'm afraid it will when we take that sliver out of there. How about that?
No.
How about that?
No. Ow!
There. Well, now, that's exactly how much it's going to hurt. The next time you get a sliver in your foot.
You mean it's out already?
That's right.
That didn't hurt a bit.
You were certainly lucky that Dr. Banning was here.
Yeah.
You're all through.
Oh. Okay.
Fascinating. How much they need you before and how little they offer to pay after. Them they didn't even offer. Well, now, Mrs. Lockwood, what do we have here?
This is Mrs. Anders. And her little girl, Aggie. She just seems to be sick all the time.
All right. Liza, I want you to tell your mother that I prescribe less chores and lots more playtime every day. All right? Get along with you.
Well, what kind of diagnosis was that, Doctor?
Let's see how you like this one. That little girl will die of consumption before the year is up. And there's no power on God's earth that can stop it. 2 months ago, things might have been different.
This is Mrs. Fleming.
Down.
He's a brave little cowboy.
Scott, why don't you go sit with Johnny for a while? I'll spell you down here.
That's a good idea. You know, Murdoch, about Banning.
What about him?
Oh, why can't they learn? Children with pneumonia sleeping outdoors. Cuts infected, reinfected. Water needlessly polluted.
They can't learn because nobody's taught them.
What's this, the changing of the guard?
Just wondered what it would be like to watch a shirt sleeves doctor in action. Tell me, is it all that bad?
What if I told you what you wanted to hear? That it's great, rewarding, fulfilling. Anything you want. Would it make any difference?
Well, I have to take you back, if that's what you mean. But I'll bring you the best lawyer the money can buy. That and our testimony, that'll mean something.
Not in Judah Abbott's town. Judah Abbott's jury. All those tight, pinched, anxious faces looking from me to Judah, waiting for somebody to tell them how to react. Oh, Murdoch, I could make it here. It wouldn't be easy, but I could make it work if you just give me the chance.
I'm sorry. I wish it was that easy.
To the student of civilization, India is one of the most interesting countries in the world. Now, it's always been one of the most fertile and populous regions on the globe, and...
Well, Jelly, how are you really feeling, huh?
Well, I'll tell you. Did you ever see a warthog stuck in a mud sump, barely able to keep his nose up, but at the same time wallowing around a little bit?
You think you're well enough to leave with us tomorrow?
You sure I'm not leaving anything behind?
Positive. You better have the team hitched to the wagon tomorrow at dawn, Scott.
Tomorrow? How many people are going? 3 or 4?
4.
All right, now you take 1 spoonful of this with every meal for 1 week. Now, if that doesn't stop that cough, and you come back and see me, all right?
How much do I owe you, Doctor?
No. I'm not in this for the money.
At least for the medicine?
It's on the house.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, I hope she stops coughing because there's very little chance that I'll be here in a week.
If there's anything that we can do about that, anything.
Oh, I don't know what. You see, there's a man in Cold River who thinks I could have cured his son. But I couldn't. Try telling him that. So the Lancers are gonna take me back, and he's gonna lock me away. Now, what more anybody could do about that is beyond me. You know what really hurts? I'd like to start practicing medicine. I'd like to find a town that needed me. Settle down. Oh, well, who knows? Maybe it'll all work out.
You know, if you think, or if Mr. Lancer or anyone else thinks that...
Look, you've done enough for me already. You believed in me when I needed it. I believe it's time to see our next patient.
This next patient is someone very special to me, Doctor.
They're all special to me. Well, what's your name, son?
Billy Lockwood.
Well, Bill, you should give those crutches to your mother and put yourself right there on that barrel. You want to tell me how this happened?
Well, I was down in the mine that day, and everything just started caving in. A timber fell across my leg.
About this angle, huh?
Uh-huh.
Does that hurt?
No.
You feel anything?
No, I can't feel a thing.
I'll tell you what I want you to do, Bill. And I don't want any help from your mother. I want you to get down off that barrel. And I want you to put your weight on both feet and take a couple of steps over there. It's all right. You did real good. That'll be all, Bill. I want to talk to your mother for a minute.
You wait outside. I want to talk to the doctor. Doctor?
It's not as bad as it seems.
Will he walk?
There's a great deal we can do.
Will he walk?
It'll take an operation.
You can make him walk. You can make him walk right.
Yes. Yes, I can do it.
You're gonna be all right. Oh, babe.
Thank you, Doctor.
Mr. Lancer! Now you take your friend and go. But Mr. Banning isn't leaving. I love my son just as much as you love yours. And if Mr. Banning can let him walk again.
Let him walk. You tell her that?
Well, there's reason to believe. There's always a chance.
Ah, Banning. There for a minute, I was almost believing. Something had started to live inside of you.
Lancer, I can make it here, I swear.
No, you can't.
We leave here, the first thing you do is get a horse and then head out for some town like Cold River, where doctors are paid their fees in solid cash, not sacks of potatoes, sides of bacon. No, this is your father's kind of a town, Banning, not yours.
They need me here.
No, they don't. They don't need anybody selling them hope like some sort of a grifter selling empty boxes of candy.
You're lying. You are. He is lying, isn't he?
Tell them, Banning.
He's lying.
Or better still, tell him.
You don't have to tell me. I know you can do it.
Well, these things aren't easy, Bill. It takes time.
You never said it'd be easy. But you can fix me. Just like you did Luther and Aggie and Liza. I don't care how long it takes. I can wait. Honest, I can. I believe in you.
Don't believe in me. It's not just time, Bill. I can't do it. Nobody can.
In your heart, you wanted him to lie. And that's all he'd had to have done to get rid of me. Respect him for that.
Josh, boy, how are you?
Oh. Oh. No.
Dad, I'm sorry. Please believe me how sorry I am. But I can't go on knowing I'll be a cripple for the rest of my life.
What are you doing in here? Get out. No, wait. Go into town. Find Sheriff Troop. Tell him he's going to have to jump a little faster. Everything's changed. Tell him it's murder now. Go on, go on.
Well,
Well, thanks, Mr. Lansford.
Don't thank me. Banning had a chance to send me away from Genesis empty-handed, but he didn't do it.
Oh? Why?
That's my business.
You're gonna wish you had taken that chance.
What's that supposed to mean?
Joshua Abbott died last night.
Died?
I've got a warrant for your arrest on a charge of murder.
Murder?
Oh, you think he died from the operation?
I think that's what a jury is going to think. Let's go inside.
Now, wait a minute, Troop. You can't.
Forget it, Lancer. Go on home. You've helped me more than enough already.
Well, I never trusted him. Called him a liar and a phony. But...
Yeah. Well, Scott, there's not much you can do around here. Why don't you take Jelly back to the ranch and get some rest?
Yeah, right.
Take good care of him.
Yep, you take good care of Banning.
You're wasting your time, Lancer. When I told you that Judah Abbott owns this town, I was including the lawyers.
Well, there are other towns, there are other lawyers. I'll find one.
It'll still be a waste of time. Look, I appreciate what you're trying to do. And I apologize for that remark I made about how much you'd helped. It's my fault, not yours. If I hadn't had that sudden attack of decency up in Genesis, I wouldn't be sitting here waiting for them to measure a rope for me.
Oh, stop it, Banning. You spent most of your life feeling sorry for yourself. Well, you better stop it now, or you will hang. Suppose you have another attack of decency, like the one in Genesis. Give me a straight answer. Could Joshua Abbott possibly have died as a result of the operation you performed on him?
No. And that's the truth, I swear it.
I believe you.
Thanks.
Well, what did he die of?
And he was sick. He would have been an invalid the rest of his life. Bedridden most of the time. He knew that. I told him before the operation the surgery wouldn't cure him.
What is it?
I just remembered something. He said he wasn't sure that he wouldn't rather be dead than be an invalid for the rest of his life.
Mr. Abbott? My name is Murdoch Lancer. Have a seat. I'm sorry about your son. So is Theodore Banning.
Get out of here.
I know you feel that Banning is responsible for your son's death, Mr. Abbott. The thing I don't understand is how can you be so sure?
Because right after that operation...
That was months ago.
It made an invalid of him.
Banning disagrees.
Banning's a liar.
I don't think he is.
I don't care what you think, just get out of here.
Banning thinks your son took his own life.
My son wouldn't take his own life. He wasn't weak, he was as strong as I am.
It is not a question of weakness or strength. Or that he couldn't face being a cripple. Maybe it's that he knew you couldn't face it.
You. All right, that's enough.
sorry, Mr. Abbott. I couldn't let you do that. Not shoot a man in the back.
Me take a bullet out of Judah Abbott? Don't be ridiculous.
Let him out of there.
You are wasting your time, Lancer.
No matter what he's done to you, Banning, you can't just let the man die.
I am not letting him die! No more than you are. Or Troop, or any other man in this town. I am not a doctor. Abbott said so, and the whole town agreed with him. And the fact that he's got a bullet in his chest doesn't change a thing, not one thing.
All right, forget about saving his life. Think about saving yours. Now, his son took his own life. Abbott will admit to that if he lives. You saved him, you saved yourself.
Not interested, Lancer. I'll take my chances, let him take his.
Hello.
Oh.
What are you doing here?
Oh, well, after you left, we realized that we hadn't paid you for what you'd done for us.
Paid me?
We don't have any money, Mr. Banning, but Mrs. Kearney, she baked you a pie. And Mrs. Holt, she brought you some jelly. Apple. And Mrs. Trevy, she brought you a side of bacon. And Luther?
And I brought you this, but it ain't worth much.
Well, thank you, Luther.
You're welcome.
And I came to apologize. I guess Mr. Lancer was right. I did want you to lie. Why didn't you?
I don't know. I just couldn't. To people like you. But I did lie, didn't I, Bill?
It's all right. Really, it's all right. Mr. Banning?
Yeah?
You still need a doctor in Genesis.
That's very interesting, Billy, because Mr. Banning just finished telling me that he's no more a doctor than I am.
But even if that was so, he'd still be welcome in Genesis.
Sarah, wait for me.
Excuse me.
Thanks.